It's Monday, March 30th.
We could close that up in 2 minutes. We could close that up so fast your head would spin.
U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran will allow some ships carrying oil through the Strait of Hormuz as he considers taking over a key fuel hub.
Please welcome the new leader of Canada's NDP, le nouveau chef du NPD, Avi Lewis.
The new federal NDP has a new leader. The Avi Lewis is going to try to figure out how to unite and grow that party that has been struggling.
Our flight systems are ready. The ground systems are ready. Our launch and operations teams are ready. And our flight operations team in Houston are also ready.
And humans could be heading around the moon this week with NASA's Artemis 2 on schedule for takeoff. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lipai. Good Monday morning.
All I can think of is Despicable Me. We're going to go to the moon.
You do it really well, too.
I've had a lot of practice. A couple small kids at home. Listen, the roads are terrible out there, apparently.
Roads are awful, very, very slippery.
And around Morse, I'm getting travel not recommended now.
Yep, and that snow's sticking around all day today.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
See, every time Kayleen takes a day off,
it happens every time.
She knows, right? She's like, you know what? Monday the 30th. Seems like a good day for Janelle. Let's get some news. Start with that new federal NDP leader, Avi Lewis, the filmmaker, defeated 4 rivals on the first ballot. Lewis becomes the new leader of a political party that has had deep ties to the new democratic movement in Canada. But as Rachel Aiello reports, even with a strong mandate, some still need convincing.
Please welcome the new leader of Canada's NDP, le nouveau chef du NPD, Avi Lewis.
A decisive victory. New Democrats elected Avi Lewis on the first ballot with 56% of the vote.
This is about all of us coming together to find our place and our power in the thrilling work of building a shared future.
Lewis comes from a progressive political dynasty. Both his father and grandfather led new Democratic parties in this country. In his campaign platform, Lewis proposed to block any new pipelines, impose a wealth tax on the 1%, and create public options for groceries.
The money is there, my friends. We need a government with the courage to go and get it for all of us.
His clear mandate to take the party further to the left, celebrated by many.
Avi Lewis has such a clear vision for the NDP. I think he's going to do amazing as leader, and I'm so excited.
We have hope for our future.
Others express disappointment.
I worry that some of his platforms are unattainable, and people might lose faith in the party.
The militancy there, for me, it scares me.
Now, the real work begins.
I think the rebuild is going to take all of us, and I'm really grateful that Avi sees that.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Let's get to work.
But despite the strong mandate from members, the self-described Democratic Socialists' ability to unify is already being tested. As soon as Lewis won, the Alberta and Saskatchewan NDP came out swinging, saying his views run contrary to the party's working-class roots.
Congratulations.
Provincial pushback, Lewis quickly tried to counter with a photo op.
I'm really happy to welcome you here to the legislature.
Lewis has inherited a party that has a long way to go to reestablish itself as a viable political option. Those I spoke with today said inviting the 4 other candidates on stage was an important first step. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Saskatchewan NDP leader Carla Beck is distancing herself and her party from the newly elected federal leader. Beck says she will not meet with Avi Lewis unless he changes his stance on natural resource development. Lewis has proposed a major transition away from fossil fuels, as you just heard in Rachel's story. Beck says 40,000 direct and indirect jobs in Saskatchewan depend on resource development, along with billions in annual economic activity. As Regina is expected to host Canada's largest artificial intelligence data center, citizens now making a pushback in some areas. Concerned citizens feel as though there's been a lack of transparency from Bell, the parent company of CTV. They've also said they're concerned about water and power safety, along with data security.
it's the latest tech craze. We came and passed through NFTs, we came and passed through Bitcoins. This is just the latest trend of a very grubby money-making scheme that has put many communities at risk, many people at risk. It is not of the community, it is not of the people, it is of the ruling minority against the working majority.
The group is expected to protest on April 18th outside the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. Education support workers in Saskatoon stepped up pressure on the province with a rally over the weekend. Jeremy Dodge, this is in your fine city. Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Yeah, 2 QP locals held a solidarity rally on Saturday as contract talks remain at a standstill after a strong strike vote earlier this year. They voted nearly 90% in favor of strike action back in February after declaring an impasse in bargaining. The weekend rally included a march through the downtown. Organizers say the goal is to build momentum toward a fair agreement that reflects the essential work support staff do in schools and addresses rising costs of living.
Support workers make the school. The support workers help the teachers, but they also are there to support all the students of all the schools. And without us, we need to be there. We care about our kids and we care about our schools and we also care about our students. And we want to be there.
Union leaders say more job action could follow if progress isn't made at the bargaining table. Well, with the start of spring in Saskatoon, it means it was time for one of the city's splashiest traditions, the annual Slush Cup at Optimist Hill. Drew dozens on the weekend as skiers and snowboarders tried their luck skimming across ice-cold water. The event marks the end of the season at the Saskatoon Hill. Organizers said this winter had lower than hoped attendance on the slopes because of uncooperative weather during the peak holiday times. But the conditions for the Slush Cup were perfect with sunshine as participants chose to stay on the snow or brave the water.
They come down the hill and hit the jumps as they come down, whatever they choose to do, and then they try to, the brave ones try to get through the pond dry if they can.
This is kind of the end of year fun thing, practice all year, and then today is when I just get to show off my tricks.
Now, officials with Optimist Hill say they're going to get together in the weeks ahead and discuss ways of drumming up more attendance next season, despite any challenges Mother Nature has in store. Well, Daryl, a grade 10 student bringing youth and seniors together with chess in Regina.
That's right. The goal is to expand that interest to seniors while raising money for children's education abroad. The student organized the 55-plus charity chess challenge with a group of like-minded students.
Recall back to the moment I'd gone to Bangladesh and shared that in my speech, and that moment really sticks with me since it shows the unequal opportunities that exist within our world and society, and I wanted to tackle that through a way that I know how, and through chess.
Adding all of the money raised from the charitable event will go towards supporting a child education through Plan International Canada. Although a small turnout of players, he plans on bringing it back with future initiatives. The Edmonton Oil Kings have drawn even in their first-round series with the Saskatoon Blades.
For Miroslav Holinka at the blue line, time ticking away on the power play. There's McKenzie, one-timer, scores!
Ethan McKenzie, the hero in overtime as the Oil Kings edged the Saskatoon Blades 4-3 on Sunday. Series now shifts to SaskTel Centre on Tuesday night with that series tied at a game apiece. Hayden Harsile has been the standout for the Saskatoon Blades so far, 3 goals in 2 playoff games. Nelly Furtado was honored at last night's Juno Awards.
Canada's always cared about art. Canada's always cared about culture. I'm a product of that. Growing up and feeling like I saw.
Furtado was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. She was introduced in a video message from Drake, who hasn't appeared at the Junos since 2011. Another highlight of the show was Joni Mitchell singing on stage for the first time at the Junos last night. She was also honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award and introduced by the Prime Minister.
Joni drew a map of Canada. Oh, Canada.
Tate McRae won 4 awards, including Artist of the Year and Album of the Year. She was not at the ceremony in Hamilton. The Beaches won for Group of the Year, a 3rd straight year for them. Oh, I can't tease Kayleen now because she's not a Tate McRae fan.
I thought the exact same thing.
And I like to needle her because she's from Calgary. We should support her.
You know what? You can't deny it. She's very talented.
She won some awards, more than we have. What's going on in the weather?
All right, well, let's take a look here. We are experiencing a very snowy Monday across the board here in Saskatchewan. We will see that continue throughout the day as well. Early tomorrow morning, though, that'll begin to taper off. -5 in Regina, -8 in Saskatoon. Again, starting to see that sun rise, but we won't be seeing much of that sunshine today. Let's take a look now at our futurecast, where we can see that system moving here through the province. This late seasonal snowfall is impacting those portions of southern Saskatchewan and southwest Manitoba. So 10 to 15 centimeters is expected through Moose Jaw and Regina today. So that is something to be mindful of. Keep your eye on Highway Hotline. For our currents here in the province, Buffalo Narrows is at -23, Stony Rapids -12, South End -25, Nipawin and Melfort both at -12, the Battleford's -7, East End -3, Weyburn and Estevan -4, and Yorkton -8. Here's a look at our highs for today. Again, a cloudier day. Those temperatures aren't terrible, but still below freezing, so things are going to continue to be quite icy. The Battleford's -4 along with Prince Albert, Yorkton -5, Estevan and Weyburn -1, Moose Jaw -2, Swift Current -4. Let's take a look now at our 7-day forecast right here in Regina. -3 for our high today. Again, expecting that snow to be sticking around throughout the day. Tomorrow morning, things will be tapering off, but for a good portion here of Saskatchewan, you will continue to see that snowfall. Tomorrow, -3 and a little bit more sunshine. Wednesday, 0 degrees. Thursday and Friday, both at 1 degree. So things will begin to warm up. There is some light here at the end of the tunnel. For Saskatoon, -6 today. Tomorrow, looking at about -2 for the high. Wednesday, -1. Thursday, 0 degrees. But again, quite a bit of cloud cover in the sky. Friday, 1 degree, and over the weekend we're starting to see those temperatures rise even more. Saturday, 6 degrees, -2 Saturday night for the low, and on Sunday, 5 degrees. Again, a little bit of sunshine peeking through. All right, it's time for your Monday morning weather or not. What year was the first official weather observations done in Canada? Is it A, 1790, B, 1839, C, 1899, D, 1905, or E, 1995?
Well, I think it's safe to say we can stroke 1995 off that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1790 seems too young.
1899. I'm going with C.
1899.
I want to be different, so I'm going to go 39.
Okay. All right. Well, the correct answer is B, 1839.
What a day for me.
What a day. On Christmas Day in 1839, the first official meteorological observations were taken in Toronto, Upper Canada.
Which was then known as Upper Canada.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
We got a history lesson folded right on in there with us.
The more you know.
There's your whether or not.
In case you missed it, NASA is giving us a look at the clearest photos ever taken of Saturn.
Ooh, all the rings.
That's right. It's all thanks to some telescope teamwork. The images were taken 2 years ago by the James Webb and Hubble Space Telescopes.
Look at that, though.
Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah.
The depth.
The depth.
That does not look real.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The Webb image shows clouds and chemicals in Saturn's atmosphere, while the Hubble view shows off the color variations across the planet. Beautiful.
You might say that's out of this world.
I would.
You just might. Yeah.
Question of the daytime. Question of the day, what'd you come up with for us?
All right, so today's question is, if you had to be stuck on a plane next to someone, who would it be? You can text us at 10400, standard message and data rates may apply, or you can scan that QR code.
From what walk of life are we talking here?
Any walk of life.
So it could be anybody.
Absolutely.
I could be stuck next to you, I could be stuck next to Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Jeremy, I'm going to think about this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's the quietest person on the planet? That's the person I want to sit next to.
We should ask
Someone
you at
mute.
least one to be stuck next to. At least would have been better.
It's a tough question.
I'll sit with my kids or my wife, right? That's okay. Does that count?
Could I not be stuck next to my kids? They're 4 and 1, and they are going to be a menace on an airplane. They're going to be an absolute menace. What about you?
I think I would pick Joe Jonas so that I could come back to work and tell director Corey that I sat next to Joe Jonas.
That's true, and not get him the autograph.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen. Maybe next time we'll ask who you at least want to. It's easier debate. We're back after this.
As diplomatic efforts being facilitated by Pakistan toward ending the war in Iran move ahead, U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran has agreed to allow 20 oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz starting Monday as a sign of respect. At the same time, with 2,500 U.S. Marines now in the region and a similar-sized contingent on its way, he raised the idea of taking Iran's Karg Island. Maybe we take Karg Island, maybe we don't, he told the Financial Times in an interview published early Monday. We have a lot of options. The U.S. and Israel kept up their attacks Monday on the Islamic Republic. Tehran, meanwhile, attacked a key water and electrical plant in Kuwait, part of its campaign targeting the Gulf Arab states, along with an oil refinery in northern Israel. Major Canadian banks and pension funds have provided tens of millions of dollars to American contractors for the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. An investigation by the nonprofit Stand.Earth has found. The environmental advocacy group analyzed financial data from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and the private financial data firm LSEG. It said it found that Canadian financial institutions have backed multiple companies that have major contracts with ICE to provide equipment or services through investments, loans, and bonds totaling about $35 billion U.S. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Today is World Bipolar Day, so our Mike Sion is down at the Canadian Mental Health Association in Saskatoon to find out more about the disorder. Mike, good morning.
Good morning indeed. And as you say, it is World Bipolar Day. I'm joined by Adam Butchko down here at the CMHA Saskatoon because of this day. And a lot of people maybe don't know or are, a little bit confused about what bipolar is. You know very much because you live with the disorder. Sure. Tell us, to people that might not know, what exactly is bipolar?
Well, bipolar is diagnosed as somebody who has too high of emotions or too high of mania, and also lows that are very beyond those. It could affect your behavior, your thoughts, and your situation. So you might have really irritability when you're in your mania. You might be able to, you might not sleep for a couple days. You might have delusions that you're some God or some Jesus person. And of course, it's very interesting because it's not just about the invisibility of it. It is invisibility illness, and it does come out as something that people don't understand. But with medication, it's treatable.
Okay, and then are there kind of those misconceptions? Because a lot of times when you're talking about those invisible disorders or diseases, there's misconceptions. People just kind of assume that they know what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I think the one big misconception is that you're moody all the time. No, with the illnesses, the illness of disability, it also shows that
like it can be longer, right? I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm happy now, I'm sad now, I'm happy. It can be, what, weeks, months?
Yes, it can be weeks, months, and also because it is invisible, it should be treated like any physical illness, like a heart condition or diabetes.
Right, kind of that same vein, right? It's different than a broken arm. Everybody sees the cast, you sign it and wish somebody well. Fantastic. And then one quick question, why today? Why is today World Bipolar Day?
Well, today is Vincent van Gogh's birthday, and he was diagnosed with schizoaffective or bipolar, they think. And he was one of those artists that was very expressionist. He had such great creativity, and he was one of those people that were just, they had an illness like bipolar, and he still is an amazing person. He encouraged modern art to look at different ways with people who have illnesses.
There you go, fantastic. And there's kind of your proof in the pudding that anything is possible no matter what you might be dealing with. Anyways, we'll continue talking about it as the morning continues here on this World Bipolar Day.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, -5. By the time lunchtime rolls around, -4, and final bell, -3. Over to Saskatoon, -8 by the time you get onto the bus, -6 by noon. 3 p.m., final bell, -6. Let's take a look now over at gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $163.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $149.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $174.9, and the lowest you might find is $164.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $649.53 per ton, and the futures price is $727.40 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat $279.07 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.07 cents US. When we come back, why this border road is making headlines in Alberta.
Time say it's 6:30. Welcome back to your morning. U.S. President Donald Trump now talking about taking over a major Iranian fuel hub.
If you would have said that in 3 days we were going to knock out 158 ships, their entire Navy, which we did, we knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out most of their missiles. That's why you see missile attacks, but they're sputtering.
The U.S. president told reporters the war with Iran is ahead of schedule. He told the Financial Times he could take the oil in Iran and possibly seize its major fuel hub. Donald Trump says the move could mean taking Karg Island, which is the main terminal for more than 90% of Iran's crude oil exports. President Trump also told reporters that Iran has agreed to most of the 15-point list of demands from the U.S. to end the war. He added that Iran has given the U.S. several big boats of oil and will go straight through the Strait of Hormuz starting today. Oil prices are up again this morning over the possibility of a ground invasion in Iran, and that means fuel costs will keep going up.
40, 50 cent increases in liters. Gas for automobile, the price of aviation fuel has doubled.
Airlines are reacting to the higher fuel costs. Price of a plane ticket is now up. Porter will go up $40 in a surcharge for fuel in the place on some tickets. The airline says the charge is expected to be temporary. As for drivers, the price of gas in Montreal is at $1.94 a liter. Analyst Dan McTagg says he expects it to hit the $2 a liter mark this week. Gas in Toronto area almost doubled. It's at $1.80. In Ottawa, it's around $1.75. He expects those prices to hold until at least Wednesday. Swedish manufacturing company Saab says it's still waiting for a decision from Canada on a potential purchase of Gripen fighter jets.
We are providing as much information as possible to the Canadian authorities and the politicians.
Saab's CEO says there have been intensive talks with the Canadian government around a potential purchase of the Gripen jets, but there has been no timeline for when Canada will finish its review of the American-made F-35S. An historic road between Canada and the U.S. will close this summer. It's called Border Road, and it runs between Montana and the Alberta border near Coots. The road is on the Montana side, but Albertans maintain it. People on both sides say they've been using it for decades. Starting in July, Border Road will be closed to Canadian traffic as part of the U.S. crackdown on border security. Alberta is now planning to build a parallel road. Seems like a weird fix. After a goal of $75,000, Play With Your Food Regina smashed expectations during their fundraising. Now they sit at about $106,000 as of Saturday. Their 2025-26 campaign, which opened in early June, raised funds up until March. On Saturday, 33 teams, including 150 participants, gathered at the university to compete in the 24-hour challenge.
We're always looking for growth. We want more people. The need in the community is strong, right? The people experiencing poverty and homelessness is growing. And so the more people we have to come out to events that support in the community, that register in teams and help us fundraise, really the sky's the limit.
Carmichael has 15 programs and services that they provide. Prairie Harm Reduction has had its exemption to operate Saskatoon's safe consumption site suspended following financial issues. The decision made by Health Canada comes after the organization has announced what it described as a significant financial shortfall. PHR's executive director was terminated last week, and an external financial expert now conducting a review of the organization's financial reporting, which is expected to be complete in early April. In a media release from PHR, the situation was described as unfortunate but not unexpected. Pamela Anderson is keeping it real in a new ad campaign.
They look lifeless. Give them a little personality. Add freckles, rosy cheeks, bend her knees a bit. Can you make them look like real friends? Like they don't have to perform.
This is for a clothing brand called Ari. It's called the 100% Real campaign, promotes the company's stance against the use of AI models. Anderson can be heard giving prompts to an AI program trying to create realistic models before it shows herself and other real models. It ends with Anderson saying, "You can't prompt this." We are now just days away from the Artemis 2 mission blasting into space toward the moon.
A Canadian is going to go into deep space. And that's an extraordinary thing because of our the American space leadership that curated that. But I hope others outside of Canada feel part of this too, because this is just an acknowledgement of anybody who shows up and is able to contribute something meaningful to our future endeavors.
The astronauts have arrived at their launch site, including Canadian Jeremy Hansen. This is the closest the crew has actually gotten to launching. Fuel leaks and other rocket issues have caused delays for months. Now NASA is aiming for a launch of Wednesday, but Mission Commander Reid Wiseman says there's no expectation that we are going. He says it's the first time they're trying to do it with humans aboard, although they're ready to go. The vehicle needs to be ready. Let's get over to the Weather Center and join Janelle Lippi. Highway 1 has a travel not recommended stretch from Rush Lake to about Park Bag. There's always some stretch on that road that's ungood this time of year.
That's right. Well, we are expecting that late seasonal snowfall. We saw it a little bit last night and into this morning as well. We're going to continue to see it throughout the day. Let's take a look here at our current temperature in Regina, -5. A little bit breezy out there as well. Those winds are about 22 kilometers per hour. Expecting to see that snowfall throughout today, the morning, into the afternoon, and even the evening. Over to Saskatoon, -8, 15 kilometer per hour winds. And again, a snowier start to the day. We will start to see those conditions clear up tomorrow. Let's take a look at our futurecast where we can see that system rolling through the province. Again, it's impacting portions of southern Saskatchewan and southwest Manitoba, and 10 to 15 centimeters is expected throughout Moose Jaw and Regina. Be careful on those roads. It's quite a slippery morning, and we are expecting to see that continue through. For our currents here, Buffalo Narrows is at -23, Stony Rapids -12, South End -25, Melfort is at -12, Swift Current -6, East End -3, Yorkton -8, Weyburn and Estevan both at -4. Now let's take a look at these highs for today. As you can see, snow across the board. We are going to be seeing this continue throughout our Monday. The Battlefords and Prince Albert both at -4 for the high. Yorkton -6, Swift Current -5, Weyburn and Estevan both at -1. Now for our 5-day forecast here in Regina, we can expect to reach that high of about -3 here today. Tonight we'll be reaching that low of -10. Tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine, still at that -3 degree mark. On Wednesday is when we will start to see these temperatures warming just a little bit. 0 degrees for that high on Wednesday, -4 as the low Wednesday evening. Thursday and Friday in Regina and surrounding areas, both at 1 degree. Over to Saskatoon, -6 here today. -14 is the low for tonight. Tomorrow, -2, but starting to see some more sunshine coming out, which will carry through into Wednesday as well. -1, and on Thursday and Friday, a pretty cloudy day ahead of us. 0 degrees on Thursday for that high, and on Friday, 1 degree to wrap up the week, and -5 that night for the low.
Spring is here, so it's time for all the annual spring traditions to return, and one of those traditions is making its way through Saskatchewan starting today. Canadian hero Terry Fox's brother, Fred, joins me now with more. Fred Fox, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I am great, how are you?
Good. Early morning here in Saskatchewan. I flew in from Toronto yesterday, visiting schools there.
Okay, and that is on the agenda for Saskatchewan today. This has become an annual thing, Fred. You tour the country to share the incredible story of your brother and what he began with the Marathon of Hope all those years ago. So what is your plan for this week in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, it's going to be a busy week. It's hard to believe that we're only a couple of weeks away from the 46th 46th year since Terry started his Marathon of Hope on April 12th. So I do this every year and visiting schools. So yeah, I'm going to be starting here in Saskatoon where I am, but I'll be in Davidson today, Kenaston, Outlook, and later in the week I'll be in Beachy and Kindersley as well. So really looking forward to visiting not only schools who are doing Terry Fox runs and fundraising for cancer research, but community members as well.
Yeah, you mentioned it. 46 years later, we have passed the $1 billion mark by now. So do you get a sense of the impact globally, even that the Terry Fox Foundation has had?
Oh, you bet. $1 billion is a lot of money, and but more importantly than that is the impact on cancer research. And Canada is the Terry Fox Foundation here in Canada is a top supporter of research in the country, but Canada is becoming a world leader in that as well, and because of what Terry started in 1980. So, a cancer diagnosis, of course, still very serious, but the outcomes of that, the survival rates are so much better. And I've had a chance to travel around the world the last couple of years as well. So, in Europe and the Middle East, and they're fundraising for cancer research in those countries as well with the Terry Fox name.
Yeah. Now, okay. So let's keep on spreading the good word and finishing this mission. The schedule this week, people need to come out and be a part of it. So today we've got Davidson, Kenaston, and Outlook. Tomorrow, Dinsmore and Beachy added to the list. Kyle, Eston, Westbury, Kindersley, and Rosedown all this week. Where can we go to kind of follow along with you through the province? Right.
Yeah, I think probably on the Terry Fox Foundation website, as well as the foundation, I believe, does a pretty good job of the social media. So they're going to be following me along the way and where I am. And, I'm sure a lot of the schools and communities that I'm in will be doing the same. So it's amazing. This is only week 2 of a 6-7 week tour I do across the country at this time of year. And so really looking forward to being here in Saskatchewan this week.
Yeah, it is a marathon of hope, Fred, and we will, again, help Terry finish it, right? Fred, enjoy your time in Saskatchewan. Thanks for coming on with us this morning.
You bet. Thank you. Thanks to everybody who has done their job to continue Terry's dream to get us to that finish line. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Jermaine Franklin in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Washington, D.C., and some March Madness. Number 2 UConn facing number 1 Duke. The Huskies trailing with 10 seconds to go. Duke inbounds the ball. They can just hold it and end the game, but instead they try to push up court and turn it over. Oh, that's Braylon Mullins from deep. UConn takes the lead with less than a second left. They'd win the game and book their trip to the Final Four. Mullins throws himself into instant March Madness lore with an incredible shot. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we've got more March Madness, the women's tournament, a pair of Elite 8 matchups. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
One woman in Alabama laced up her dancing shoes to help beat cancer, and now she's motivating others to do the same. Bryce Olson joined her class to show the impact it's having on other people in the area.
At this point in my life, I'm just trying to encourage people from now all the way until eternity.
Karen Gunter continues dancing, teaching people that movement can get you through life. She teaches multiple classes a week at her local YMCA and connects with people across the community.
Yeah, so if you take a look behind me, you can see right now the class is full. I've been trying to keep up with the moves, but I don't think we'll see.
It's calm. You don't have to know how to dance. It's not a class of American Got Talent or anything like that.
Gunter enjoys teaching but says she didn't know if she would always be able to do this. She's had to take things one beat at a time.
I went through a health challenge back in 2020 where I ended up with ovarian cancer, and then the Y closed based on the fact it was COVID.
Gunter has overcome those struggles, and she's now inspiring even more women to do the same.
As a matter of fact, it's the only exercise I can do because of the different issues I got. But I enjoy it, you know, when you can just dance by the beat of the music and do your own steps.
I have 3 kids, 6 grands, and 2 great-grands, and I believe I can outdance all of them, and all that stems from coming to this class.
And with moving their feet, Gunter says she hopes to encourage people to make a move in their community.
We're just here to try to encourage people socially, economically, and also physically so that they can keep their bodies fit.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
It's March 30th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy belated 15th birthday to Drayden. Your grandma loves and misses you. Happy birthday to Dustin. This is coming with love from your wife, son, mother-in-law, and of course the fur babies. Happy belated birthday to Melissa. Lots of love from your friends, family, and pets. Happy 65th birthday to Esther. Rocket and Gary hope you have a wonderful day. And Real is turning 75. Happy birthday to you. Love your family. Happy birthday to Kelton. Your family hopes your day is extra special. And last, but of course not least, happy 5th birthday to Levi. Your family loves you so much.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
What are we giving away this week on the radio?
Oh, you know, we still have the $50,000. That is the big one to give away. Next keyword coming up at 7 o'clock. Final day for March Country Thunder 2, so that song of the day, we'll let you know about that one coming up at 8:20 this morning. And also, too, we just love to get some good shout-outs for you here this morning. So anything any person that has just done something a little special for you today because, well, we have the snowfall warning. There's road reports everywhere. I can see the flashing of a plow right beside me here, too. So if someone's just been making you feel a little great lately, whether that was the act of kindness from a stranger or someone that you know, text that in 54321 and let's show them a little love this morning.
Why not? It's February 38th at this point. It just keeps coming back.
Never ending.
All
Never
these
ending.
false springs. Chase, thanks.
Thanks, Daryl.
Object approaching. Project Hail Mary held its top spot at the box office for a second weekend, bringing in more than $54 million. The sci-fi adventure has become the highest-grossing movie for Amazon MGM Studios since Creed 3 in 2023. Project Hail Mary is also surpassing expectations overseas in Europe and Asia. The Disney Pixar film Hoppers took second.
Hi. I'm the new maid.
They Will Kill You made anything but a killing in its opening weekend, placing third with an estimated $5 million. The horror action film follows a woman who takes a housekeeper job at a luxury hotel in New York. She soon begins to uncover the building's dark history and why residents keep vanishing without a trace. For the first time in forever, Arendelle is opening its gates to the public. Disneyland Paris opened The World of Frozen this weekend. The immersive land takes guests into the kingdom of Arendelle, which features Elsa's Ice Palace, boat rides, and of course, warm hugs from Olaf. Disney is the parent company of ABC. Happy birthday to music icon Celine Dion. She turns 58 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
So very appropriate. My wife just bought a new vinyl of Celine. And
Nice.
just blaring it in the house, just blasting it.
Amazing
Very
timing.
good. Francophones. They do with Francophone things. Let's start with the video of Never Ending Story that fans out from there. Oh, good. The videos are still dumb. I took a couple days off. I thought maybe they'd get better. This is Falcor the Luck dragging his back, kind of. The woman thought her dog looked kind of like the mythical
I can see the
creature.
resemblance.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the vision is great.
What can we do to get clicks today? Oh, I know. Anyways, what do you got? Sorry, maybe I'm a curmudgeon today. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's see if this one impresses you. The saying, work smarter and not harder, applies to fitness as well.
The homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light.
All right, so she actually didn't even break a sweat. It looks like this woman is doing a difficult handstand.
Look at that.
With weights, when in reality, she's just lying on the floor. You
Just
tricked all of us.
Angles. Angles are important.
Angles are everything. So this video has gone viral with over 96 million views, with many wanting to follow her workout routine.
Glad that cup is empty. Right? Splashed all over the face. That's it. We're gonna reset. We got highway warnings to get to. We got all kinds of stuff. Let's take a look outside. That's snow. It is almost April. We're back after this. It's Monday, March 30th.
We're ahead of schedule with Iran. We're weeks ahead of schedule.
The U.S. and Israel are keeping up their attacks on Iran today while a refinery complex was hit in Israel. And the U.S. president now talking about taking over a major fuel hub.
Please welcome the new leader of Canada's NDP, le nouveau chef du NPD, Avi Lewis.
Federal NDP has a new leader. Avi Lewis now has to try to figure out how to unite, grow, and keep that struggling party afloat.
From Miroslav Palinka at the blue line, time ticking away on the power play. There's McKenzie, one-timer, scores!
Busy WHL playoff weekend. The Blades in action yesterday. We've got the highlights. Stay with us. Saskatchewan, your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippi. Thank you for being back with us.
Especially because it's so darn snowy and weird out there. It should be nicer. Provincial championships are happening for hockey all over the country right now. The Regina Pack Canadians won a AAA overtime thriller against the Moose Jaw Warriors. They'll join us at 8:40 this morning. This is Jeff and Beckett Tislansvik. Beckett is the goalie for the U13A Regina Buffaloes, who beat the Outlaws in overtime. Get this, Janelle, 72 saves in the win because it went so long, all the extra overtime periods and so forth. Glenn Wilson scored the eventual winner. So congratulations to him, that squad, and all the teams out there.
Very nice.
My goodness.
Yeah.
72.
72.
The average game is 25 to 30. Wow. 72.
Lots of talent out there.
Lots of Gatorade and bananas. Let's get to our news. We start with the newly minted NDP leader, Avi Lewis, beginning his term with the task of rebuilding the federal party in his progressive vision. But already there's resistance from leadership in Saskatchewan and Alberta.
This is about all of us coming together to find our place and our power in the thrilling work of building a shared future.
Please welcome.
All right, so Lewis won on the first ballot, capturing 56% of the vote. Some of the policies he campaigned on include blocking any new pipeline, new taxes on the highest earners, and public options for groceries. His energy policy sparked public backlash from provincial leaders in Alberta and Saskatchewan, saying his view runs contrary to the party's working class roots. Some Regina residents are voicing their concern with the area's new AI data center. The group says they feel there's been a lack of transparency from Bell Canada, who is building the AI center in the RM of Sherwood. They say they're concerned about water, power, and data safety.
It's the latest tech craze. We came and passed through NFTs, we came and passed through Bitcoins. This is just the latest trend of a very grubby money-making scheme that has put many communities at risk, many people at risk. It is not of the community, it is not of the people, it is of the ruling minority against the working majority.
They say they're going to protest on April 18th outside the Legislative Building. Bell Canada is the parent company of CTV News. Education support workers in Saskatoon stepped up pressure on the province with a rally over the weekend. Jeremy Dodge, what do they want?
Daryl, well, two QP locals held a solidarity rally on Saturday because contract talks remain at a standstill after a strong strike vote earlier this year. They voted nearly 90% in favor of strike action back in February after declaring an impasse in bargaining. The weekend rally included a march through the downtown. Organizers say the goal is to build momentum toward a fair agreement that reflects the essential work support staff do in schools and addresses rising living costs.
Support workers make the school. The support workers help the teachers, but they also are there to support all the students of all the schools. And without us, we need to be there. We care about our kids and we care about our schools and we also care about our students. And we want to be there.
Union leaders say more job action could follow if progress isn't made at the bargaining table. Prairie Harm Reduction has had its exemption to operate Saskatoon's safe consumption site suspended because of financial issues. The decision from Health Canada comes after the organization announced what it described as a significant financial shortfall. PHR's executive director was terminated last week, and external financial experts are conducting a review of the organization's financial reporting, which is expected to be complete in early April. The drop-in center remains open in the meantime. In a media release from PHR, the situation was described as unfortunate, but not unexpected. All right, Daryl, the latest now on the war with Iran.
Jeremy, more U.S. troops have arrived in the region as the president says negotiations with Iran are ongoing and a deal may be possible soon. Matt Rivers reports.
This morning, President Trump with a threat to the NATO alliance. If there's no response or if it's a negative response, I think it will be very bad for the future of NATO, he said. Trump is trying to pressure world powers, including the UK, France and Italy, to help keep the Strait of Hormuz open as oil prices skyrocket. This after Australia and Japan already refused his request. The president won't give specifics on which countries might sign on. But the Strait of Hormuz, through which roughly 20% of the world's oil travels, is now a no-go zone for shipping, with the constant threat of Iranian drone and missile attacks. Democrats argue the administration had no plan.
Strait of Hormuz obviously is now shut down. All of this was predictable.
The White House stands by its strategy. Energy Secretary Chris White telling our Martha Raddatz the pain at the pump will be short-lived.
Are you really sure it's going to be short-term? Can you guarantee it'll just be weeks before prices go down?
Hey, there's no guarantees in wars at all. I can guarantee this situation would be dramatically worse without this military operation to defang the Iranian regime.
This as thousands of U.S. Marines aboard Navy carriers move into the region. It's an amphibious attack group capable of conducting ground operations. President Trump has said he's not ruling out U.S. boots on the ground. And this morning, the real cost of the war becoming clear as we learn the identities of the 6 Americans killed when their refueling aircraft went down in Iraq on Thursday. Among them, 34-year-old Technical Sergeant Ashley B. Pruitt from Bardstown, Kentucky. Her family described her as an amazing wife, mother and airman. And the youngest among them, Technical Sergeant Tyler Simmons, just 28 years old. His family say he dreamed of serving his country.
He's just a fantastic person. You couldn't ask for a better grandson than he was.
So what's the economic impact of all this? Well, oil is now at $101 a barrel and it's hitting gas prices in the US. Gas Buddy thinks gas will hit $4 a gallon this week. And of course, that could rise further as this war continues. James Longman, ABC News in Iraq.
7 local businesses have designed and built children's playhouses as part of a fundraiser for Habitat for Humanity. Through the Project Playhouse, people had a chance to vote for their favorite playhouse, along with placing bids to purchase any ones that are for sale. Playhouses were on display at the Regina Spring Home Show this past weekend. This is the first time Habitat for Humanity Saskatchewan has put forward some sort of unique fundraiser like this.
Some of the organizations or companies that have built the playhouses, like Collaborative Construction, Fries Tallman, there's 1080 Architecture, Scott Collegiate, the kids there at Scott Collegiate built their playhouse, and they're actually going to donate it back to their daycare, which is really amazing. And again, this is just about community, right, coming together.
Habitat for Humanity Saskatchewan says it will be posting the winners of the playhouses on their social media by tomorrow morning. The Edmonton Oil Kings have drawn even in their first round series with the Saskatoon Blades.
For Miroslav Holinka at the blue line, time ticking away on the power play. There's McKenzie, one-timer, scores!
Ethan McKenzie, the hero in overtime, as the Oil Kings edged the Blades 4-3 on Sunday. That series will now shift to SaskTel Centre on Tuesday night, with that series tied at a game apiece. Boy, oh boy, it's going to be fun. Playoff hockey is back. Nelly Furtado was honored at last night's Juno Awards.
Canada's always cared about art. Canada's always cared about culture. I'm a product of that. Growing up and feeling...
Nelly Furtado was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. She was introduced in a video message from Drake, who hasn't appeared at the Junos since 2011. Another highlight to the show was Joni Mitchell singing on stage for the first time at the Junos. She was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award introduced by our Prime Minister.
Joni drew a map of Canada. Oh, Canada.
Tate McRae, Calgary, Alberta girl, 4 awards, including Artist of the Year and Album of the Year. She was not at the ceremony in Hamilton. The Beaches won for Group of the Year for a 3rd year in a row. 3rd year in a row. Congratulations to them. Let's get over to Janelle Lippi. What's going on out there besides the fact that the Trans-Canada has a section that's still travel not recommended?
Yeah, things are looking a little bit rough out there, and that's expected to continue here throughout the day. So something to look forward to, I guess. If you like the snow, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of it. Here in Regina, currently at -4, seeing those winds at about 26 kilometers per hour. So that temperature isn't bad, but that wind is going to make it feel a little bit cooler than what it is. -8 in Saskatoon, 19 kilometer per hour winds. We're going to be seeing that cloud cover in the sky across Saskatchewan. Not a ton of sunshine today, but things are going to be looking a little bit brighter tomorrow. Now for our future cast here, where we can see that snow system moving through the province. Again, that late seasonal snowfall will be impacting portions of southern Saskatchewan and then southwest Manitoba as well. We are expecting 10 to 15 centimeters of snow throughout Moose Jaw and Regina. So keep your eye on Highway Hotline. Things are a little bit slick out there. For our currents throughout the province, Buffalo Narrows is at -25. Stony Rapids -12, along with Nipawin. Hudson Bay -19. So current -6. East End -3. Yorkton -8 and Weyburn and Estevan both at -4. Here's a look at our highs for today. As you can see here, that snow is consistent. It's everywhere. The Battlefords and Prince Albert both seeing about -4 for the high. Swift Current -5. Yorkton at -6. Weyburn and Estevan -1 and Moose Jaw -2. For a 7-day forecast here in Regina, again expecting to see that snow sticking around all day today. -3 for that high and reaching -10 for the low here tonight. Tomorrow seeing a little bit more sunshine coming out with -3. Wednesday is when things will start to warm up just a little bit at 0 degrees. And on Thursday, it's going to be cloudy, but still 1 degree, which carries us into Friday. 1 degree is the high as well. Saturday and Sunday, our warmest days. We do have a beautiful weekend here ahead of us. Saturday, that high is 6 degrees. Over to Saskatoon, -6 today. Again, seeing that snow. Tomorrow, -2. A little bit more sunshine, and that's sticking around as well into Wednesday with -1. Now, Thursday, cloudy with 0 degrees. Friday, we're wrapping up the week with 1 degree and -5 as that low. Over the weekend, beautiful temperatures as well. Seeing 6 degrees on Saturday, 5 degrees on Sunday, and a little bit of sun peeking through for both days. Time for today's rural forecast. Lloydminster at -4 along with Spiritwood. Kindersley and Outlook -5. Hudson Bay -3 along with East End. Maple Creek -2. Broadview and Carlisle -4 and Lumsden -3. Now let's take a look at Springside, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. Reaching that high of about -6 here today, expecting those flurries to remain in the sky, and those wind speeds are at about 15 to 40 kilometers per hour.
Let's go back out to Mike Siona now. He's at the Canadian Mental Health Association in Saskatoon this morning. Mike, good morning.
Good morning indeed, and it is World Bipolar Day. So we are speaking with Adam Butchko, who is living with bipolar, and with Tony Klassen, who is the Executive Director here at CMHA Saskatoon. So let's talk a little bit about kind of some of the supports that are available here to people that have been diagnosed bipolar. They don't have to go it alone.
Certainly not. You know, we really encourage people, whether they have an official diagnosis or maybe they're just struggling in some ways, to reach out and connect with. There's so many great community resources here in Saskatoon, and so we really want people to take that first step, reach out. You're not alone. There's certainly the appropriate kind of supports and systems in place to help you navigate. And like Adam was saying earlier this morning, you know, there's ways to manage bipolar, right? You're not going to get rid of bipolar, but there's lots of really great strategies and medications and therapies and tools available to people so that they can kind of learn how to navigate their own diagnosis and be successful and live the life kind of that they want to live to the fullest.
Right, exactly. And this is a great place to start, kind of, you know, the tip of that sword, so to speak. You have gone through a ton of these resources. In a little more specific detail, maybe tell us what some of the supports are.
Well, the great thing is I didn't do this alone. I was able to do the WRAP program, Wellness Recovery Action Plan, with Peter Workinson here at CMHA, and he really helped me realize that you have to have daily maintenance, you have to watch for your triggers, you have to watch for what might be in crisis. As well, I got funding for going into class through CMHA. They also helped me find a job as a flower designer, and they also helped me connect myself with supports and connect with a community that's always there for you. If you're doing this, don't do it alone, because it's very nice to know that recovery is possible with any mental illness.
There you go. Fantastic. All right. Just an absolutely wonderful message here this morning. And please do reach out to the CMHA Saskatoon or any organization, depending on where you happen to be in the province of Saskatchewan. Because as we've heard, you don't have to do it alone.
Right on, Mike. Thank you very much. We will see you again in a little while.
Hello, Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Washington, D.C. and some March Madness. Number 2 UConn facing number 1 Duke. The Huskies trailing with 10 seconds to go. Duke inbound. bounce the ball, they can just hold it and end the game, but instead they try to push up court and turn it over. Oh, that's Braylon Mullins from deep. UConn takes the lead with less than a second left. They'd win the game and book their trip to the Final Four. Mullins throws himself into instant March Madness lore with an incredible shot. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we've got more March Madness, the women's tournament, a pair of Elite Eight matchups. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
I wonder what the late fines would be for a library book like this. Manchester City's Erling Haaland has made a donation to his hometown library in Norway. The gift is a rare 16th century book of Viking sagas. Its value, more than $180,000.
Oh.
Haaland says he's not much of a reader, but he owns a $180,000 book he can just give away. But he says he wants the book to always be on display and open so people from his hometown can read about its history.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
I don't feel like they're checking this thing out. I feel like you can go to the library and look at it, but you're not taking it home.
I don't think you should be able to take it home.
I'd like to see it instead of soccer. I don't, right?
FIFA World Cup coming up right here on CTV. Let's get to our question of the day. Okay, so you say we're stuck on a plane next to somebody for an extended period of time.
Yes.
We're not just flying to Calgary where you're barely up and down.
Exactly,
Okay,
yes.
so who are we stuck next to?
Okay, so we've got some really good answers coming in, and there is still time to send them. You can text us at that 10400.
Jeremy wants to be stuck next to a soccer player.
Yes, I guess so.
Where he can learn the ins and outs of the beautiful game.
I guess so.
Sure.
Okay, so our first answer that we got in was from Donna from Yorkton, who says, my daughter. Of course, that's a fantastic little
This next answer is so sad because I wish her happy birthday every day, even though it's not her birthday.
I know. I would sit next to you.
Happy birthday, Bailey.
Happy birthday. Heather here, who says, I would want it to be Jimmy Fallon. I think he would keep me so entertained that it would probably make being stuck on a plane much better.
Could be.
Yeah. And then Debbie here, last but not least, I'd want it to be my bestie, Rosalie. After 64 years of friendship, we still laugh like we're 6 years old.
It's nice that you still like each other.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a lifelong friendship. And again, there is still time to send in your answers. We love to hear from you all. You can text your name and answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or you can scan that QR code on your screen.
Wait, Bailey, we didn't even ask who the least likely would be. She just did that on her own.
She's offered it up.
She's up in our audio booth. I'm going to have to talk with her. We're back after this.
As diplomatic efforts being facilitated by Pakistan toward ending the war in Iran move ahead, U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran has agreed to allow 20 oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz starting Monday as a sign of respect. At the same time, with 2,500 U.S. Marines now in the region and a similar-sized contingent on its way, he raised the idea of taking Iran's Karg Island. Maybe we take Karg Island, maybe we don't, he told the Financial Times in an interview published early Monday. We have a lot of options. The U.S. and Israel kept up their attacks Monday on the Islamic Republic. Tehran, meanwhile, attacked a key water and electrical plant in Kuwait, part of its campaign targeting the Gulf Arab states, along with an oil refinery in northern Israel. Major Canadian banks and pension funds have provided tens of millions of dollars to American contractors for the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. An investigation by the nonprofit Stand.Earth has found the environmental advocacy group analyzed financial data from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and the private financial data firm LSEG. It said it found that Canadian financial institutions have backed multiple companies that have major contracts with ICE to provide equipment or services through investments, loans, and bonds totaling about $35 billion U.S. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Standard practice, we'll ask Janelle to take out her earpiece for our morning mystery so she can't cheat.
All right.
It is a thing. We've got 3 clues for you. If you've never seen the segment before, you can guess along with us at home. Clue number 1, it is a thing. Clue number 1, these are colored yellow to convey royalty and respect for China because of the main component.
Okay.
Clue 2, unleaded, despite popular opinion. Okay.
Okay.
On average, 15 billion are produced annually, enough to circle the world 62 times. What is it? Oh.
I don't know.
Unleaded makes me feel like fuel, but can't be gas, can it? Colored yellow? Is gas yellow?
I've never actually seen gas.
Gas is clear.
As a...
Unless it's purple on the farm.
Yeah. Right. Man, yeah, I got blank.
Put your earpiece back in and write it down, and then I'll copy off your board.
Wait.
Oh, I don't know. Let's go with computer chips. That's what I'm going to go with.
Computer chips?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's China.
Corey,
I assume it's something to do with.
Tell me in my ear.
Okay, write something down. Now you suddenly.
No, it came to me very organically.
No, yeah, sure it did. Sure it did. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me erase computer chips and write pen. HB number 2. That's what I'm going to write.
And I knew that all along.
Look at that. It's pencils. Those clues. Oh, man. Jeremy didn't even hazard a guess. That's how tough that was.
Nah.
Pencils, your morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Day forecast is brought to you by CAA, School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, -4, and sticking around that -4 degree mark by lunchtime. Final Bell still snowing and -3. Over to Saskatoon, -8 by the time you get onto the bus, -6 by about 12 p.m. noon. Still -6 by 3 p.m. Final Bell. Here's a look today at the gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $1.63.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.49.9. And in Saskatoon, the common cost is $1.74.9, and the lowest you might find is $1.64.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $649.53 per ton. The futures price is $7.27 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat $279.07 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at about 72.0 cents U.S.
It is 7:30. Thank you for being with us. The deadline to file your taxes is April 30th. If you were unaware, and financial experts are encouraging you not to leave money on the table when filing. Kimberly Johnson reports.
Track all of my expenditures and then I categorize them so I know exactly how much I'm spending in each.
Having an interior renovations business means Jeremy Martin has to be organized, not only for his clients, but also for tax season.
Just finishing up right here today, actually, and then I should be sending it off to my accountant, so shouldn't be too bad.
First and foremost, every Canadian taxpayer is different.
This tax accountant says that if you are scrambling to meet the deadline, there are some things to consider, like keeping every receipt you can, from charitable donations to eligible out-of-pocket medical and childcare expenses. For those filing together, know who the larger earner is.
Typically, shifting the medical expense credits to the lower income spouse saves you the most money and is the most tax efficient.
But he says donations can mean the opposite.
Typically, shifting the donations to a registered Canadian charity to the higher income spouse gives you the best bang for your buck. So those type of shiftings and optimizations are really important to plan out.
If you own a small business, track your work from home expenses because you may be able to deduct on a portion of your mortgage and utilities. And use this time of year to ensure you're on track for next year's tax season. Make sure your registered accounts are in order, like RRSP for retirement savings or a first home savings account so you can minimize your tax burden. Being organized all year can help avoid stress.
Keeping a folder or some type of a binder or a drawer where you could just put everything in and kind of keep track of your receipts, keep track of what happened throughout the year.
The deadline to file is April 30th.
I have an accountant, so I keep everything.
I have all the paperwork
all ready to go. It's the only scramble is because I'm leaving on the 1st, and it's finding someone to do my taxes.
I have one employer, so it's just the T4 and whatever basic contributions, but technology's helped a lot.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says her party is against separation despite recent actions from one of her MLAs.
I support Alberta's sovereignty within a united Canada. That means the province of Alberta stays within Canada, and we work to get back the rights that we have under the Constitution.
Premier Smith was reacting on a radio show to an op-ed written by UCP MLA Jason Steffen. In the op-ed, Steffen encourages people in Alberta to sign the separation petition. He doesn't say in the piece if he has signed the petition himself. Despite the USCP stance, Premier Smith says she welcomes diverse opinions in her caucus. Canada's tourism industry is struggling to find workers. Kathy Lee with Why.
What kind of work are you looking for?
Just days after arriving in Banff from Lithuania, Kantara Daumantaita is already at a job fair.
My goal is to get a seasonal job, a summer job, and stay for whatever the time takes for that job.
She's one of hundreds here, many on work visas, seeking positions in the tourist mountain town. And those looking to hire for the upcoming summer rush, like Brandy White,
I'm just going to create a new folder and
really need help.
I'm desperate. I have to find at least 35 people before June 1st.
Job seekers also include some Canadians, like Jimmy Stevens from nearby Canmore.
I have 2 part-time jobs that are great jobs and everything, but we're struggling to pay the bills every month.
With the number of people expected at the job fair, there is an appetite for people to come here and work. But employers and job seekers say one of the biggest challenges of working in this area is affordable housing.
Sergio Garcia, head chef for Juniper Hotel Bistro in Banff, says with record tourism levels, the need for staff is rising.
We do offer housing.
Is there enough?
That's the problem. Now it's not enough.
Canmore and Banff both face extreme housing shortages driven by high demand and limited supply. For many, the cost is out of reach, which means local recruits are hard to come by.
We are trying to hire Canadians. Anybody that's Canadian that's looking for a job, please come see me. We just can't find enough.
White says temporary foreign workers are essential, but tighter rules on foreign labor in Canada and slow approvals make it challenging to bring them in. As for affordable housing, there are plans to increase capacity in both towns. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Banff.
Delays and long lines are still filling airports across the U.S. despite a move by the president to pay TSA agents.
If you say they're going to get paid and they don't after 5 weeks of not getting paid, then that would be a serious blow to the already low morale.
White House border czar Tom Homan says TSA agents should start receiving pay this week, but it's unclear whether Trump's executive order will face any legal challenges. The partial U.S. government shutdown has become the longest in American history, with lawmakers unable to reach a deal on funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Homan says even after the shutdown ends and funding for TSA is restored, ICE agents currently deployed to airports will remain in place until things feel like they are 100%. Now to the Artemis II launch, when the window for that launch and its mission around the moon is set to open, and we're hearing from some of the crew. Perry Russum reports.
This morning, T-minus 2 days to history. The countdown is on for the first human moon mission in more than 50 years.
We can safely say the crew's ready, the rocket's ready, the spaceship's ready.
The Artemis II plans to launch 4 astronauts on a 10-day, 685,000-mile journey, slingshotting around the moon, venturing deeper into space than ever before. It's a crucial step in NASA's multi-billion-dollar project to land humans back on the moon, build a lunar base, and send future explorers to Mars. The crew led by Commander Reed Wiseman.
We're doing this because it's a unique opportunity. We are going for all and by all. This is what NASA embodies.
The Artemis II astronauts speaking from quarantine at the Kennedy Space Center. It's a history-making crew. Victor Glover is set to become the first black man to travel into deep space.
Young brown boys and girls can look at me and go, hey, he looks like me and he's doing what? And that's great. I love that. But I also hope we are pushing the other direction, that one day we don't have to talk about these first, that one day this is just, and I listen to this, that this is the human history.
Christina Cook will be the first woman to journey to the moon.
If there is something to celebrate, it's that we are at a time when everyone who has a dream gets to work equally hard to achieve that dream.
The trip, years in the making, has been hit with delays, from hydrogen fuel leaks to an interruption of helium flow in the rocket.
We have the best crew that you could put together from NASA and the Canadian Space Agency here. And we have the ultimate trust in each other, and that's how we will get through this.
Perry Russum, ABC News.
The Gardenscape Backyard and Living Show returned to Prairieland Park in Saskatoon over the weekend, the 34th year of the event. Visitors could get in the spirit of spring by browsing through various plants and landscaping products, watching the Super Dog show, or taking part in some hands-on educational experiences. One organizer says the show saw a significant bump in attendance.
Traditionally, the show has skewed towards a little bit of older demographic, but we looked at that and we says, no, this should be about a family-friendly event. And so what we did is we looked at programming and events that all ages and families could take part of. And we're pleased to see that it actually resonated with the community, and we're seeing a lot more young people.
And they're traveling. My wife went up for this yesterday. The show also marked the first year in which dogs were invited to come along with their owners. The boys are back in the boys of summer rather are back, and the Toronto Blue Jays have swept their opening series against the Athletics.
Franchise record going back to 1977 as Okamoto drills one high, deep, gone.
Lead makes it sound impressive, but the A's suck. Already up 3-0 because Kazuma Okamoto extended the Jays' lead in the fourth inning, hitting his first career MLB home run to right center field. Toronto won 5-2, taking all three games to now play the Rockies in their next series. So a couple softballs to open up the season. Blue Jays manager John Schneider discovered a nice surprise recently, a letter from an admirer who happens to be a big name in another sport. Schneider was catching up on some fan mail when he settled into his office ahead of the season opener. The letter that he opened caught his eye was from Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr. It was dated November 2nd, one day after Toronto's Game 7 loss in the World Series. Kerr wrote, quote, "I felt compelled to reach out after watching your incredible leadership on display during the World Series," end quote. Schneider says the letter brought him back to those last few innings against the LA Dodgers, capturing the agony of that final loss. Nice gesture from the coach. Let's head over to the Weather Center and talk about those road closures, and the Highway 11 still has some snow and ice and blowing snow and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's looking very wintry out there, as you can tell here behind me. We are experiencing a little bit more snow today, and that is going to last throughout our entire Monday as well. Let's take a look right now at our current temperature. Right here in Regina, -4. So again, those temperatures aren't terrible, but those wind speeds are a little bit high, currently about 26 kilometers per hour. Over to Saskatoon, -8, cloud cover in the sky and about that 19 kilometer per hour wind currently. Let's take a look right now at our futurecast. We can see that system of snow moving through the province. Again, this late seasonal snowfall is impacting portions of southern Saskatchewan and southwest Manitoba, and about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow is expected throughout Moose Jaw and Regina. So like Daryl had mentioned, those highways are pretty icy. Keep your eyes on Highway Hotline. For current temperatures here in Saskatchewan, Buffalo Narrows at -25, Stony Rapids -12, South End -24, Spiritwood -9, Hudson Bay -19, the Battlefords -7, East End -3, Swift Current -6, Yorkton -8, Estevan -4. For our highs today, snow across the board, again lasting this morning into the afternoon and evening as well. The Battlefords at about -4, along with Prince Albert for their high today. Yorkton -5, Weyburn and Estevan -1, Moose Jaw -2. For our 5-day forecast here in Regina, -3 for our high today, reaching that low of about -10 here tonight. Tomorrow, those skies are expected to clear up. Some sunshine is on the way, and -3 for the high. Wednesday is when we'll really start to notice things warming up. 0 degrees for that high, -4 that night for the low, and Thursday 1 degree along with Friday. Now for Saskatoon, -6 today for the high, -14 tonight is the low. Seeing that snow continue, but Tuesday things are clearing up once again, -2 and more sunshine. Wednesday, -1, and on Thursday, 0 degrees. Expecting to see some of those clouds rolling back through, and that will last into Friday as well, where we'll see 1 degree for that high and -5 as the low.
Submit your event by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click on Community Calendar, or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Regina Pats tied with the Medicine Hat Tigers after 2 games in their opening round series. The Medicine Hat Tigers, my goodness, this is a team, Dante DeCaria. Nobody, I don't think, would have expected you guys coming home with the split. That's a big win.
Coming home with a split is huge for games 3 and 4. To be at the Brandt Center with a 1-1 series tie against essentially a top 3 team in the WHL, a team that has a team that's built to win a potential Memorial Cup championship. Very encouraging, awesome stuff. I think this group deserves a ton of credit. Congrats to Brad Haroff for his first WHL playoff win, first playoff win for the Pats since 2023. Just so exciting. Great team effort on Saturday night to win that game 4-2. Listen to this stat. Medicine Hat had only scored 2 or less during the entire regular season 3 times. So that was just the 4th time, and the Pats were able to hold them to 2 goals. Great overall team effort. Merrick Schlenker was awesome with 21 saves.
Why, yeah.
Yes. Merrick Schlenker was very good, but I think the whole team deserves credit. I mean, Regina was essentially down to 9 forwards in that game with Connor Bear leaving with an injury, and they were playing with 7 defensemen already. This is a team that's already been without Keats Fawcett, Maddox Schultz, Liam Pugh, not in the lineup over the course of the weekend. So everybody else stepped it up, and I think it's very encouraging heading into games 3 and 4 on Tuesday and Wednesday.
So now you wouldn't be here if you didn't want to pack the Brandt.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be a fun game. I think really we need all the support we can get from all the Pats fans out there, because Medicine Hat, their crowd really kind of dictated the pace of the game, booing us, throughout. Every time Matt Peranich, the former Tiger, touched the puck, they were booing him. The fans were heavily involved, banging on the glass, yelling at our players, yelling at our coaching staff. It was a fun atmosphere to be a part of, just to be in Medicine Hat, walk into Starbucks, during the day. People were wearing Tigers jerseys and stuff like that.
It's been a while since we've got to do this here in the Queen City.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I think Pats fans have to be pretty excited about where this group is heading. And, a 1-1 series tie against one of the top teams in the entire CHL is just very encouraging. I mean, this group needs a ton of credit, and I think they need all the support they can get, because now it's a chance for Pats Nation to essentially, have an opportunity to dictate how things go for games 3 and 4, because if they can get under the skin of the Tigers from the crowd and stuff like that, then I think that gives the Regina a little bit of an edge, no?
And a chance on Tuesday night to see a couple of AAA champions in Liam Pugh and Maddox Schultz maybe in the lineup, and that's always a good boost when you can get some depth, and it's some pretty good depth.
Yeah, and maybe Keats Fawcett's good to go. I know he's been day-to-day with a lower body injury, and he led the Pats with 30 goals this season, and you can't forget about Maddox Schultz and Liam Pugh. I mean, both were exceptional in that 5-game series with the Moose Jaw Winmar Warriors, and congratulations to them on winning the provincial championship as Western Regionals begin this weekend. But yeah, Daryl, that's essentially a whole first line, pretty much. Like, you put Fawcett with
on most teams.
Exactly. You put Fawcett with Lancert and Schultz in the middle, and then add Liam Pugh somewhere in the top 9. I think it just makes your team better. Now, the power play does need a little bit of a boost, and they're missing 3 key players on their power play right now. 0 for 10 so far in the series. So if they can get those guys back on the power play, that adds a huge boost out front.
We've got 20 seconds. Get people there. Tickets, where do we get them? How do we get them?
Tickets available at reginapats.com or calling the Regina Pats business office.
You don't want to miss this one. This is going to be a heated tilt. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock puck drop at the Brandt.
50 years ago this week, 2 guys named Steve founded the Apple Computer Company in California. To raise the funds, Steve Jobs sold his VW minibus for $1,500, and Steve Wozniak sold his calculator for $500. They chose the name Apple because it sounded fun and not intimidating, and because it would get listed above Atari in the phone book. The first computer went on sale in July 1976, retailing for just over $600. Today, Apple is the world's most valuable brand with a valuation of more than $600 billion.
It's March 30th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy belated 15th birthday to Drayden. Your grandma loves and misses you. Happy birthday to Dustin. This is coming with love from your wife, son, mother-in-law, and of course, the fur babies. Happy belated birthday to Melissa. Lots of love from all of your friends, family, and pets. Happy 65th birthday to Esther. Rocket and Gary, hope you have a wonderful day. And Real is turning 75. Happy birthday to you. Love your family. Happy birthday to Kelton. Your family hopes your day is extra special. Last but not least, happy 5th birthday to Levi. Your family loves you so much.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
What's on tap for this week, Chase?
Well, we're taking a look at the Junos from last night. On the countryside, Cameron Whitcomb coming away with a couple awards. And, of course, we are so excited to see him at Country Thunder this year. And it is our final day to get you some tickets with the March to Country Thunder. So we'll share our song of the day coming up at 8:20. I'll let you know when. You're going to be hearing it this afternoon with Brandon. And if you win those tickets today, you go in with everybody else throughout the month tomorrow for the grand prize draw, which could have those general passes upgraded to platinum. So again, that song of the day coming up for you quickly here at 8:20 this morning. Get us going with the iHeartRadio app.
Love that, Chase. We'll see you again tomorrow.
BTS is back on top of the Billboard 200 chart. The reunited K-pop group's Arirang had the biggest sales week for an album by a group in more than 10 years.
Change happens when a few determined individuals make it happen. We need to take matters into our own hands.
Ed Baldwin has changed plenty over the 5 seasons of For All Mankind. With each season set a decade or so apart, Joel Kinnaman's character has aged almost half a century since the series began.
To believably portray a man much, much older than the character, than he is, the actor playing him, is no easy task. And the amount of time and energy Joel put into that, and our makeup team, our incredible makeup team, you know, it's like 4 hours in the chair. It's not just about the looks, it's about his voice, the way he walks, his posture. I mean, it really helps sell not only his performance, but I think this idea of time passing, which is so essential to the show.
For All Mankind Season 5 launched Friday on Apple TV. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, time for some sidebars. What do you got for us?
That's right. Well, finally, let's finish things off with a video for all of the never-ending story fans out there. Favorite Falkworth, the Luck Dragon, is back, kind of. This woman thought her dog looked like the mythical creature.
No, she didn't. She wanted clicks.
So she reenacted the scene of him flying with fist bumping on his back. Yeah. Okay. Just a friendly reminder that every real story is a never-ending story. Gerald, this one's for you.
Yeah, sure it is. Why not? Hey, Gerald, hold the camera for me. I'm going to do something stupid and see if we get clicks. And here we are.
That's how it works.
That's
Welcome to the internet, Daryl. First day?
First day. I'm new here.
Yeah.
I'm new here. Work smarter, not harder applies to fitness, too.
Wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light.
Whoa, look how tough she is.
Super impressive.
Or is she?
This one got me the first time.
Got me too. Video's gone viral, 96 million views. Good thing there's nothing in that cup. Yikes.
Yikes is right.
JD, what do you got for us?
All right, we have a shout out to all the amazing teachers out there and how different their jobs are now than his jobs used to be.
Okay, so let's give some feedback to this team.
I'm so proud of you.
You don't want to make it about you. You want to make it about them and their work.
That you can tell I'm proud of you.
That's still about you.
Damn fine work.
Angie, the millennial teacher, showing her retired teacher mom how it's done these days. Positivity, inclusivity, not sitting down ever.
Oh.
Right?
You know.
Yeah.
The basics.
Mom's probably happy to be retired after hearing all of this.
Oh, man.
Aww.
Hey, shout out to all those hardworking teachers out there. Grab a coffee and get to work. It's almost class time. We'll be back after this. Welcome to Monday, March 30th.
We could close that up in 2 minutes. We could close that up so fast your head would spin.
U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran will now allow some ships through the Strait of Hormuz.
Please welcome the new leader of Canada's NDP, le nouveau chef du NPD, Avi Lewis.
The new federal NDP leader, Avi Lewis, is now trying to figure out how to unite and grow his party.
Starts for the Athletics in 25.
George Springer, first pitch swinging, deep left field, gone!
And the boys of summer are back. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for being back with us.
Conditions are getting a little bit better on the highways, but they're still not the greatest, and it is now, what, February 38th?
I know. It's so cold out there.
All of these false springs that we keep getting.
Yeah, those temperatures aren't bad, but the conditions, not great.
Does the long range at least look?
For today, at least, we're looking at more snow. Tomorrow, things are lightening up.
And people ask sometimes, have you ever done the weather? Nope, that's why. Let's get to news. We'll start with the newly minted NDP leader, Avi Lewis, beginning his term with the task of rebuilding the federal party in his progressive vision. But already there's been resistance from Alberta and Saskatchewan branches.
This is about all of us coming together to find our place and our power in the thrilling work of building a shared future.
Please welcome...
Lewis won on the first ballot, capturing 56% of the vote. That was widely expected. Some of the policies he campaigned on include blocking any new pipeline, high taxes on the highest earners, and public options for groceries. Now, his energy policy sparked pushback from provincial leaders in Alberta and Saskatchewan, saying his view runs contrary to the party's working class roots. Some Regina residents voicing their concern with the new data center in the area. The group says they feel there's been a lack of transparency from Bell Canada, who is building the new AI data center in the RM of Sherwood. They say they're concerned about water, power, and data safety.
It's the latest tech craze. We came and passed through NFTs, we came and passed through Bitcoins. This is just the latest trend of a very grubby money-making scheme that has put many communities at risk, many people at risk. It is not of the community, it is not of the people, it is of the ruling minority against the working majority.
They're going to protest again on April 18th outside the Legislative Building. Bell Canada is the parent company of CTV News. Education support workers in Saskatoon stepped up pressure on the province in a rally over the weekend. Jeremy Dodge, what do they want and when do they want it?
Well, Daryl, two QP locals held a solidarity rally Saturday as contract talks remain at a standstill after that strong strike vote earlier this year. They voted 90% in favor of strike action in February after declaring an impasse in bargaining. The weekend rally included a march through the downtown. Organizers say their goals to build momentum toward a fair agreement that reflects the essential work support staff do in schools and addresses the rising living costs.
Support workers make the school. The support workers help the teachers, but they also are there to support all the students of all the schools. And without us, we need to be there. We care about our kids and we care about our schools and we also care about our students. And we want to be there.
Union leaders say more job action could follow if progress isn't made at the bargaining table. Prairie Harm Reduction has had its exemption to operate Saskatoon's safe consumption site suspended following financial issues. The decision from Health Canada comes after the organization announced what is described as a significant financial shortfall. PHR's executive director was terminated last week, and external financial experts are conducting a review of the organization's financial reporting, which is expected to be completed in early April. The drop-in center remains open in the meantime. In a media release from PHR, the situation was described as unfortunate but not unexpected. Well, Daryl, Tiger Woods is facing some legal troubles over the weekend.
Yeah, more fallout this morning for that SUV crash and DUI arrest of Tiger Woods. Victor Oquendo with the latest.
This morning, new questions about the legal ramifications facing Tiger Woods following his latest arrest for DUI charges. The 82-time PGA winner leaving Martin County Jail in Florida late Friday.
It doesn't matter who you are. If you break the law, we're going to follow the law.
Authorities say the 50-year-old was traveling at a high rate of speed on this two-lane road Friday afternoon, passing a truck when he crashed and rolled over his Land Rover near his home on Jupiter Island. The Martin County Sheriff's Department says Woods was not injured and was able to crawl out of the passenger side door before police arrived. Suspecting Woods may be impaired, officers on scene performed a breathalyzer test, which detected no alcohol, according to investigators. However, authorities say Woods refused to take a blood or urine test.
Urinalysis would have showed evidence or not of other drugs, and since he refused to take it, he was charged with DUI with property damage and failure to take a lawful test, both misdemeanors.
Over the years, Woods has been in multiple vehicle crashes.
You're stopped in the road, in the middle of the road.
In 2017, he was charged with DUI after being found by police asleep behind the wheel of his vehicle. Woods pleaded guilty to reckless driving. In 2021, he nearly had his leg amputated after the SUV he was driving rolled over multiple times outside Los Angeles. This latest arrest comes while Woods mounts a comeback to competitive golf. Just last week, he played in his first match since 2025 for the Jupiter Lynx in ESPN's TGL League. His teammate Kevin Kisner speaking about his friend during this weekend's Houston Open.
Very disturbing. You know, obviously he was really working hard on his game, trying to practice, get back in shape. He signed up for the U.S. Open, Senior Open yesterday, was trying to do anything he could to come back and help our TGL team get ready to hopefully try and play the Masters.
The complete incident report is expected to be released this week. No word on when Woods will be in court, but it's typically about 2 to 3 weeks, right around the same time as the Masters. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Stuart, Florida.
The Oil Kings have drawn even in their first round series with the Saskatoon Blades.
Slav Holinka at the blue line, time ticking away on the power play. There's McKenzie, one-timer, scores!
Ethan McKenzie, the hero at overtime, as the Oil Kings edged the Blades 4-3 Sunday. That series now shifts to SaskTel Center for Tuesday night, tied at a game apiece. Regina Pats are returning home with a series split with the Medicine Hat Tigers.
He'll head behind the net of Schlenker. Give to Pickford. High slot. Shoots. Blocked in front. Hit a body and roll wide. Now Cunningham. Oh my! Catch.
Look at that second effort. The Pats beat the Tabbies 4-2 Saturday night. Merrick Schlenker, who grew up in the Hat, was sensational, and he'll have to be again this week if the Pats want to have more success.
We knew after we made it 3-1 that they're probably going to give us a push, and they scored the next shift. So, yeah, I mean, we were in one there, but like I said, the guys were selling out in front of me, and yeah, luckily it worked out today.
America's huge. Obviously, we didn't start in game one, and he didn't blink an eye. I told him to go shove it up my ass today, and that's exactly what he did. So that's what we expected of our team MVP, and he did a hell of a job. But in the third period, they're a good team, guys. Like, they're a top 5 team in the country. They probably scored more goals than anyone in the country. They're good players, and you know, you can only hold them off for so long. I think we did a really good job in making them defend, making it difficult on them.
He'll head behind the net of Switzer.
Series now turns its attention to Regina's Brand Center for Game 3 and 4. Nelly Furtado was honored at the Juno Awards last night.
Canada's always cared about art. Canada's always cared about culture. I'm a product of that. Growing up in...
Nelly Furtado inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Another highlight of the show is Joni Mitchell singing on stage for the first time. There's Drake. That's not Joni Mitchell. She received the Lifetime Achievement Award and was introduced by the Prime Minister.
Joni drew a map of Canada. Oh, Canada.
Tate McRae, Calgary, Alberta, won 4 awards, including Artist of the Year and Album of the Year. She was not at the ceremony. The Beaches won for Group of the Year for a 3rd year in a row. Best New Artist did not go to Janelle Lippi, which means she's in the Weather Center.
That's right, with some bad news, too.
Yeah. Tears from the sky in the form of snow.
Yeah, as you can see behind me here, we are seeing that snow coming down. Visibility isn't great either, so make sure you're taking your time here on your morning commute. Let's take a look now at that current temperature, -4. So again, temperatures aren't terrible, but those wind speeds are quite high at about 24 kilometers per hour. So not only is there snow falling, but there is snow blowing. Over to Saskatoon, seeing a little bit more clarity, -8. Not as much snowfall, but again, a cloudier day and about 20 kilometer per hour winds currently. Now let's take a look at this futurecast. We can see that system of snow moving through the province. It is expected to last all day today. Tomorrow, conditions will be lightening up. But again, this late seasonal snowfall is impacting portions of southern Saskatchewan and southwest Manitoba. The Moose Jaw and Regina areas are expecting anywhere from 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. So keep your eyes peeled. Be careful on those roads. Check in with Highway Hotline. For our current temperatures, Buffalo Narrows and La Ronge both at -22. Spiritwood -11. South End -19. Hudson Bay -15. Melfort -12. We've got Wynyard -8. Yorkton -7. East End -3. Swift Current at -6. And Estevan and Weyburn both at -4. For our highs today, snow across the board. Again, we can expect to see that last all day today. The Battleford seeing about -4 for their high, along with Prince Albert. Yorkton -5. Weyburn and Estevan -1. Swift Current -5. Now for our 7-day forecast, right here in Regina, -3 for our high today, reaching that low of about -10 here tonight. Tomorrow, starting to see a little bit more sun coming out, -3 for the high. Now Thursday is when the clouds will begin to regather. 1 degree for the high on both Thursday and Friday. Now over the weekend, we're having beautiful temperatures here. 6 degrees is the high for both Saturday and Sunday. However, Sunday, we can expect a little bit more for that snow. Over to Saskatoon now, -6 today for the high, -14 tonight is the low. Tuesday and Wednesday, a little bit of a sunnier day, but Thursday clouds are regathering. 0 degrees for that high. On Friday, we're wrapping up the week with 1 degree, -5 that night for the low. Over the weekend, again, seeing beautiful temperatures returning. Saturday, 6 degrees for the high. Sunday, 5 degrees and a low of about -3 that night.
This day in history, March 30th, 1954, Toronto officially opened the first subway system in Canada. March 30th, 2020, Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan said 24,000 Canadian troops were ready to be deployed to help deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. And March 30th, 1982, Bertha Wilson was sworn in as the first female justice of the Supreme Court of Canada.
In case you missed it, a crowd of highly fashionable dogs strutting their stuff in Vancouver yesterday.
Not that I'm biased, but I love Raffi's kimono straight from Japan.
There's a Great Dane in a honeybee costume coming up, and it's pretty spectacular.
Although I like the crab, I think it's unexpected. It's very avant-garde, very couture.
Crab is unexpected.
Not a happy dog in the bunch. Look how miserable they all are. It's the Cherry Blossom Festival in Vancouver. The first time they did a pet parade, but we'll see if it continues on. Look at how miserable. Oh, it's so sad.
You know, they should put him in one of those stupid never-ending story videos. Let's level it up.
Wait, they're so cute, though.
Look at that one.
They're cute, but they're miserable. Why are you promoting cruelty to these puppies?
He looks pretty happy, this one. This old boy.
Just happy to be there.
Just happy to be there. Question of the day. If you're stuck on a plane next to somebody, who would you want it to be? Janelle's curated our answers. What do you got on the big board for us?
That's right. Okay, so Patrick, who says only the best of the best, Celine Dion.
We're celebrating her 57th birthday today.
That's right. So very on topic here.
Patrick's heart will go on for Celine.
Sheena, who says my mom for sure. Also the Dalai Lama, that would make the flight very relaxing.
Very quiet flight. That's what Jeremy was on board for earlier.
That's what it's all about, yeah.
Darren, who says either of the Wright brothers would be best. We can discuss how far aviation has come.
Interesting.
Wow. And then Julius, who of course says Daryl Rummold, so we could sit there and make up all the pun jokes.
You know what? I don't know if I agree with that answer or not, but I appreciate that you spelled my name right. Nobody ever does that. Bonus points for that.
That's so right.
We're talking Easter hacks when we come back with Denise Wild. Stay with us.
Easter is right around the corner, and Denise Wild is back with us to help make that Easter magic easy. Hi, Denise. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Easter's on its way, and I've got lots of great things for everyone.
Fantastic. Well, let's start off with what you have here, a cute DIY project for the kids.
Absolutely. This is a really fun craft. I love getting my craft on around the holidays. This is a little DIY Easter chick. I just used some cardstock, and then I wrapped it with yellow pipe cleaners. You can use yellow yarn or yellow string, and that creates your little chick base. And then you can just use colored construction paper to make the beak, make the legs. And I added some yellow feathers as well, just to make it extra super cute and fluffy. And then some googly eyes. And this is a really fun project that kids of all ages will be able to do. Gets them excited for the season ahead and keeps them busy. If you're, hosting Easter dinner, you need to keep the kids busy with crafts at the craft table. But just a really fun project and, great DIY for the whole family.
And of course, we can't have Easter without some chocolate eggs.
That's right, of course. What would Easter be if we didn't have chocolate, whether it's the mini eggs or the cream eggs? Cadbury is synonymous with Easter, so let's find some great treats for this year. Maybe you're setting up a hunt, or maybe you're filling a basket, or maybe you just want a sweet indulgence. This year, they have launched their Cadbury Caramel Buttons Hollow Egg. This is a hollow egg, hollow chocolate egg, that's what it is, with their amazing caramel buttons inside. Such a delicious treat. Last year, they launched the Cadbury Micro Minis Hollow Egg, so this is kind of the follow-up to it. Just, such a great treat. Maybe you're buying them for yourself, or maybe you're buying them for family members or teachers. This is so delicious. I don't know if you've tried the caramel buttons, but they are incredible.
Oh, they look amazing. Here they are, yes. And
You'll be trying lots of them.
Last but of course not least, presentation is key to setting up those perfect Easter moments.
Yes, let's create an Easter moment by pulling it all together, and putting in that little extra special touch just really helps to add that magic to the moment. So you can set up a beautiful display. All of these great items I got at Giant Tiger. They have everything you need, all the Easter essentials under one roof, and they always have low prices. They have Easter decor, Easter toys, Easter activities for the kids, also matching PJs for the entire family. This is my son wearing one of the PJ sets. My daughter was wearing one too. So really comfortable, really soft, and just a great way to celebrate Easter is to pull everything together to a beautiful presentation. You can shop in store at Giant Tiger or online at gianttiger.com.
Fantastic, Denise. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning.
Thanks, Janelle. Thanks so much.
Now let's check back in with Mike Siona, who's discussing mental health this morning.
Well, one more time down here at CMHA Saskatoon with Tony Clausen, the executive director here on World Bipolar Day. And we've talked about bipolar, what it is, who it affects, and now we want to talk a little bit about some of the more supports, maybe to help the helpers.
Yeah, so certainly if you have a loved one, a friend, a family member that has a bipolar diagnosis, or maybe they don't have that diagnosis, but a different mental health diagnosis, it can feel really isolating. You can feel really alone, and it's important that you find support for yourself, not only for the people that you're caring for. So here at CMHA Saskatoon, we do have a family support program as well, where you can come and connect with other family members who are supporting a loved one with a mental health diagnosis in order to kind of build that sense of community for yourself, so that you know the things that you're feeling and what you're experiencing in your home, you're not alone in that, and other people are experiencing that too, and they can kind of share what's been successful for them and what else is out there in the community that you might be able to connect to.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great point. And obviously, bipolar, just one of the things that are kind of dealt with here at the CMHA Saskatoon. You've got a bigger month coming up here in April, and it deals with ink as well.
Yeah, so we're super excited to be partnering again with the Shop Tattoos. So please check them out over on Quebec and follow their socials. So over the month of April, they're kind of doing a mental health promo event. So funds from the tattoos will be coming into CMHA, as well as a huge event on the 25th and 26th. There'll be, tattoos happening kind of as you walk up. There'll be live music, there'll be food, there'll be lots of great things. So be sure to follow them on their social media to learn more about what's happening.
Very, very cool. Always something going on around here, we have learned. And yeah, it's just about having the discussion, having the conversation, and really a little bit of compassion and supporting those who are dealing with it and those who are supporting them.
A company known as Gaia has unveiled an AI-powered fertility process that includes a live birth guarantee, promising couples a baby or their money back. Gaddy Schwartz takes a look.
We're all here thanks to the miracle of life. And that miracle, sometimes assisted by IVF and the marvels of modern medicine. And along that comes the cold reality of dollars, cents, and a baby at a price.
I know it sounds crude or vulgar when you say people are buying a baby, but essentially they're here because they want to buy a child.
And up until now, the costs are often a big question mark during already stressful times.
My wife and I had 5 rounds of IVF.
But Nader Al-Salim, the founder and CEO of Gaia Fertility, says using AI, they've come up with a way to make IVF treatment so predictable, they have a no baby, no fee guarantee.
With the availability of data today and the sort of proliferation of AI at large, you can isolate every step of the way and really understand what is going to happen, what are the scenarios, and what are the probabilities.
Al-Salim's pitch is not just about tech, but financing. Typically with IVF services, couples pay as they go for treatment, and that can range from $20,000 to $60,000 or more. With Gaia,
a $24,000 today average price of what we sell in IVF is enough of a pathway that 8 out of 10 women will walk away pregnant.
And that $24,000, more or less, includes multiple embryo transfers if needed. Al-Salim says that with Gaia's system, couples are paying for an outcome, not a series of treatments.
I don't think anyone walks here and says, I'd like to buy myself a treatment. People come here because they want a child.
Every step of the way, I felt like we kept getting bad news after bad news.
Maria and her husband had been trying to conceive for years, but a medical condition prevented her from getting pregnant.
They're telling you that you have a condition, and then they're putting a price on top of that, right? Yeah. That's like a 1-2 gut punch.
Oh, absolutely, because first you find out you have this problem that makes you sterile and not be able to have children naturally, and then you're like, okay, cool, the science exists to do it, but you're definitely going to pay for it. And the price tag is a shocker.
But through the Gaia process, she and her husband were able to conceive.
And then came the news that you were pregnant.
Yes, which was the best thing that ever happened. We were both crying so bad, and it was... I'm still having a hard time believing it, honestly. When you struggle for so long, it just seems like it's never going to even be a possibility.
In the world of fertility, AI is already being used for things like timing hormone injections, selecting embryos, calculating drug dosages, and sorting through massive amounts of data produced by tests during the IVF process. But studies emphasize that human physicians play the central role in helping couples conceive through IVF.
When it comes to fertility, there are so many layers, in terms of the social element and the emotional element and the psychological element. We've spent a lot of time focusing on the patient.
Al-Salim hopes that combining that human element with AI and other advanced tech will lead to a new future for how human life is created.
People will be producing more embryos and more babies in the lab than we used to do, especially as the cost becomes more viable.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
It's 8:30. Thank you for being with us. We begin with developing news this morning. Air Canada has announced CEO Michael Rousseau will retire this year. Rousseau has come under heavy criticism over his English-only condolence message after the crash of LaGuardia Airport. According to this morning's announcement by the board of directors, Rousseau will retire by the end of the third quarter this year. Rousseau has been with Air Canada for almost 20 years and was appointed CEO in 2021. U.S. President Donald Trump is providing an update on negotiations with Iran, issuing a new threat to the regime as the U.S. sends another 3,500 troops to the region. Speaking aboard Air Force One last night, Trump said Iran has agreed to allow a number of oil tankers to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
They gave us, I think out of a sign of respect, 20 boats of oil, big boats of oil, going through the Hormuz Strait.
Iran has effectively closed the narrow waterway. President Trump has told the Financial Times that the U.S. could seize Iran's Karg Island, the main export point for Iranian oil. A fuel tanker and an industrial building in Haifa, Israel, have been hit by debris from an intercepted missile fired from Iran. The Israeli military also says 2 drones fired from Yemen were intercepted today. This comes after the Iran-aligned Houthi militants fired missiles at Israel for the first time since that conflict began. It's becoming more and more prominent in North American politics. Adults acting like kids when debating issues. Well, the Speaker of the Saskatchewan legislature has had enough. Last week, he scolded MLAs on both sides of the aisle and threatened to kick out those who continued the behavior. Wayne Mantika reports.
Yesterday, I said I was going to be firmer.
Heckling during debate in the Saskatchewan legislature has become a distraction for the Speaker.
We took the carbon tax off, Mr. Speaker. We are saving the ratepayers
Some comments along the way, but it's so loud I'm not sure if you're able to hear, but Minister, continue please. Let's have decorum in the chamber.
The Speaker is expressing his frustration.
But I asked nicely to keep your comments to yourself.
On Thursday, Todd Gowdy specifically called out NDP MLA Mira Conway.
It needs a serious answer. Are you able to keep your comments to yourself?
I'll do my best, Mr. Speaker. A lot of people talking in here today. I don't know why you're addressing me specifically.
Well, from my seat, I can hear all the voices in the place. There are a few that are outspoken.
The NDP say it's hard to sit in silence.
We're not allowed to stand up and say, those guys are lying. I can say it out here and I will say it to the people of the province. They lie day after day after day to you. Are we frustrated with that? You bet. Will we continue to be frustrated? You bet.
In a written statement, the government said the legislature should be a place of debate, not hate. Unfortunately, the NDP does not appear to agree.
I think that we should not hate the people that we disagree with. I think we should respect those differences, Mr. Speaker.
It's a decades-old battle between opposing parties in the legislature that is showing no signs of abating. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
That we know is going to...
The best farmland in Canada, at the centre of a battle to preserve it for agriculture. It's a corner of Surrey, BC, where farmers are able to start planting earlier than other parts of the province. Advocates say they fear it could be turned into housing. CTV's Michelle Brunero reports.
It's a 220-acre piece of land that farmers say is unlike any other in the country.
So this land, we call it a little piece of California here.
The Heppel family has been farming here for more than 50 years.
5 years to really get it producing, but
we stuck to it.
On Friday, potatoes and cabbage were being planted.
So last week it rained 5 inches and we're able to plant this week. That is unheard of on any other farmland here in the Fraser Valley.
It's land, Heppel say, that's critical for food security.
The reason why it's so important to our food security is because we're able to plant the first crops of the year on this land. And that means we're able to harvest the first crops. So it turns off our reliance of foreign produce here in the Fraser Valley and even in Western Canada.
But he's worried they could lose the land, which is on a disposal list and which they now lease year to year.
There's a lot of pressure right now for housing, warehousing, park facilities. So there's a lot of people that want this land for its own needs.
We have put pressure on the federal government and the provincial government to protect this land. It's the most unique land in all of Canada.
It's very frustrating that we can't seem to get any answers from federal government or from the province as to how we can keep this 200 and some odd acres of beautiful farmland in Surrey from being developed into some sort of an industrial park.
In fact, Heppel says the land across the street, now industrial, used to be farmland. BC's Agriculture Minister says she recognizes the importance of the land, though it is outside the ALR. Just days ago, I spoke about this matter to the Federal Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food. CTV News contacted Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, which manages the land, but a response was not available by deadline. Meanwhile, Heppel wants land put in a protective covenant, saying too much farmland is being lost at a time when Canada needs to be more self-sufficient. Michelle Bernoro, CTV News, Surrey.
Play with your food. Regina smashed some fundraising expectations over the weekend. They had a goal of 75 grand, and at last check, they were over 106,000. 33 teams participated in the Play with Your Food 24-hour challenge over at the university with 150 participants.
Like, we're always looking for growth. We want more people. The need in the community is strong, right? Like, the people experiencing poverty and homelessness is growing. And so the more people we have to come out to events that support in the community, that register in teams and help us fundraise, really the sky's the limit.
Carmichael has 15 programs and services that they provide. Now to the Barbie Dream Fest over the weekend with Laura Spencer.
Attendees of the first ever Barbie Dream Fest were expecting this. Instead, they received...
The inflatable bee is deflating. There's no music again at the roller disco.
It was just so much emptiness.
With a price tag as high as $449, scores of fans took to social media to complain the Barbie Fest dream didn't match reality.
It said it opened at 9. We weren't let in till 9:45.
The interactive Barbie Dream House was a VW bus that you were not allowed to enter into. And it was a, I would say, cardboard cutout box of a Barbie house.
Alexandria Dugan was hoping for a once-in-a-lifetime experience with her almost 7-year-old niece.
It is Barbie, a reputable, big brand that everyone trusts. I feel like that was just really heartbreaking.
Mischief Management, who licenses the Barbie brand from Mattel, saying in a statement, "We will be providing full refunds to everyone who purchased tickets."
A Regina teen is hoping to expand a love for chess for players of all ages. So he organized the 55-plus charity chess challenge over the weekend with a group of like-minded students to help grow the game and reach out to others.
Recall back to the moment I'd gone to Bangladesh and shared that in my speech. And that moment really sticks with me since it shows the unequal opportunities that exist within our world and society. And I wanted to tackle that through a way that I know how, and through chess.
They raised went towards sponsoring child's education program through Plan International Canada. With the start of spring here in the city, that means that there's, this is a Saskatoon script, sorry. With the start of spring in Saskatoon, that means it was time for one of the city's splashiest traditions. There we go, I'm back on track. The annual Slush Cup at Optimist Hill drew dozens on Saturday as skiers and snowboarders tried their luck skimming across, however they wanted to get there, ice cold water. The event marks the end of the season at the Saskatoon Hill. Organizers said the winter was a little bit lower attended than normal because of the uncooperative winter during holiday peak seasons, but the conditions for the Slush Cup look pretty good.
They come down the hill and hit the jumps as they come down, whatever they choose to do, and then they try to, the brave ones try to get through the pond dry if they can.
This is kind of the end of year fun thing, practice all year, and then today is when I just get to show off my tricks.
All right, officials say Optimist Hill will get together in the weeks ahead to discuss drumming up more attendance for the next season, despite some challenges Mother Nature might throw at them. Let's get over to challenges Mother Nature is throwing at drivers right now. Highway 11 is in. There was a section of Highway 1 that for a while was travel not recommended this morning. When's this all going to end? It's supposed to be spring.
It is supposed to be spring. Now, we are going to see these conditions continue on here through today. Tomorrow is supposed to be much better, but behind me, we aren't seeing a whole lot. That snow is really starting to come down. -4 currently. Again, those temperatures aren't terrible, but those wind speeds are making it feel much colder and making visibility quite difficult. About 20 km/h wind gusts so far here in Regina. Over to Saskatoon, visibility much clearer, -8, 20 km/h winds. Again, that cloudier day, and of course that means some snow today, which we can see here in our futurecast. There's that system rolling through the province. We are still expecting to see that continue through today, and this late seasonal snowfall is impacting portions of southern Saskatchewan and southwest Manitoba. So here in Regina, it is still snowing. 10 to 15 centimeters of snow is expected for the Moose Jaw and Regina areas here. Things are going to be clearing up tomorrow. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Slowly but surely we will get there. For our currents in the province, Buffalo Narrows is at -22 along with Larange. Spiritwood -11 along with Nipawin. Melfort -12. Hudson Bay -15. The Battlefords -7. Kindersley and Saskatoon both at that -8 degree mark. East End -3. Yorkton -7. Weyburn and Estevan -4. Here's a look at our highs for today. Again, snow across the boards. We will be seeing this all day. The Battlefords at -4 along with Prince Albert for their high. Yorkton -6. Swift Current -7. Moose Jaw -2. Weyburn and Estevan -1. For our 5-day forecast today, a snowy day. Make sure you're checking in with Highway Hotline. That visibility isn't great and those roads are going to be slippery. -3 for our high here today, -10 tonight for the low. Tomorrow -3 and starting to see some sunshine come out. Wednesday is when we start to see those temperatures get a little bit nicer, 0 degrees, but a cloudier day, which leads us into Thursday. A lot of cloud cover in the sky, but we will be seeing about 1 degree. Friday, we are wrapping up the week with that 1 degree mark and a little bit more sunshine. For Saskatoon, -6 here today, seeing that snowfall all day. -14 as the low for tonight. Tomorrow, -2, starting to see some sun coming out, and that carries through into Wednesday as well. -1 for that high. Now, Thursday and Friday are going to be cloudier days, but again, we're seeing those temperatures at a nice spot. 0 degrees on Thursday. Friday, we're wrapping up the week with 1 degree.
Back-to-back champions, the Regina AAA Pat Canadians. Warren Fry's the guru behind it, the architect behind that team. Warren, congratulations. How was the weekend?
Well, the weekend was great. Didn't start off so well on Friday night with the loss in Moose Jaw, but our team bounced back really well on Saturday afternoon and came out on top, and it was an awesome feeling. And as far as the architect, I'd have to pass that off to our whole staff as the architect of that team. They're a very dedicated group, and without them, we wouldn't have the success we have.
Just how hard has it been this year? This is the same question I posed to Regina Pats, to juggle Liam Pugh and Maddox Schultz back and forth. Where are they going to play? When are they going to be in the lineup? Which group are they with? How difficult has that been on your end?
I wouldn't say it's been challenging just in trying to schedule players for practice, figure out who's playing what game. Ryan, our head coach, has done a great job of managing his part of that, and we interact with the Pats on a regular basis, and it's been a very good relationship. Of course, they're special players, and both teams love to have them. We obviously love to have them whenever they're there, and we take what we can get, and when they're there, it's great. But the rest of our group has been very resilient and rose to the challenge of playing hard and winning games without them there. And we had a very successful season when they're with us, and when they're not with us, we still, had a lot of success.
Warren, forget resilient. They've been dynamite. Talk about some of your players outside of those big two. Malachi Martin's been amazing. Who are some of the other guys to keep your eye on? Yeah. Who are some of the other guys to keep your eye on as we go towards Western Regionals here?
Well, there's Malachi. We have a couple of great defensemen that led the league in scoring for defensemen, Riker Doka and Ethan Young. We have a big bruising Cooper Bratton, who's a high draft pick of the Prince George Cougars. Up the front, we have, there's a number of Nathan Gardner, who's a Warriors prospect. He tied for our team lead in scoring with Malachi. Our goaltending has been great with Ben Meyer and Adam Montaigne. Adam had an awesome game on Saturday, was a big part of our win, and Ben's been great all year for us. And up front, we have a lot of players that fit into the lineup well. Grady Hodgins, played a couple of years of U18 AA and made the team this year and has been a key part of our success.
That's awesome, Warren.
And there's so many to name. It's been
up and down the lineup,
very resilient and great group. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. And now we want to sell tickets. Western Regionals are here at the Cooperative Center in Regina. How do we get tickets to be there? You can go to our website at reginapatcanadians.ca. There's a menu bar on the tab at the top. There's a Western Regionals link, and you can buy tickets there. We'll start posting again to social media with the link in it, so you can buy tickets for the whole event is $70 for all 7 games. Yeah. We will put single game tickets on sale later this week if they're available. And a warning to people out there, advance tickets for playoff for the final series were gone. So if you want to be a part of it, you got to get those early. Warren, thank you for a few minutes this morning. Thanks, Daryl.
Saskatoon is one step closer to being home to a national urban park. The years-long initiative from Parks Canada got its support from City Council, but some are still wondering how the swale figures into future plans. Keenan Sorokon has more.
Environmental advocates who until recently were big supporters of Saskatoon's efforts to become one of the first cities in Canada with a national urban park are now tempering expectations.
We need to show up at our boldest and best, and that means reaffirming the boundaries for the Northeast and Small Swales that Council endorsed unanimously in 2023.
With the help of the Meewasin Valley Authority, Parks Canada is looking to designate a new national park along the South Saskatchewan River in the coming months, but part of the plan excludes areas of the Northeast and Small Swale. These natural prairie lands are considered a threatened ecosystem, rich with many plant and animal species, and leaving some of these lands vulnerable for potential redevelopment in the future isn't sitting well with those looking to take care of them.
We have never seen a case where explicit instructions or guidance from elected leadership have been so blatantly ignored and overwritten.
Adding to worries is the city's newest neighborhood in the planning stages will border the swales. City Council previously established boundaries of the swale in 2023, but for the park to move forward on a tight timeline, it needs approval for these new drawn lines that could change in the future. But ultimately, Council didn't want to risk missing out on being home to a national park.
If you are going to change the boundaries now, you are sending the consultation and the chance of getting the National Urban Park designated back to the beginning.
A legal boundary of the swales is expected to be established when the new neighborhood planning begins to move through council next year. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Project Hail Mary Mary held its top spot at the box office for a second weekend, bringing in more than $54 million. The sci-fi adventure has become the highest-grossing movie for Amazon MGM Studios since Creed 3 in 2023. Project Hail Mary is also surpassing expectations overseas in Europe and Asia. The Disney Pixar film Hoppers took second.
Hi, I'm the new maid.
They Will Kill You made anything but a killing in its opening weekend, placing third with an estimated $5 million. The horror action film follows a woman who takes a housekeeper job at a luxury hotel in New York. She soon begins to uncover the building's dark history and why residents keep vanishing without a trace. For the first time in forever, Arendelle is opening its gates to the public. Disneyland Paris opened the World of Frozen this weekend. The immersive land takes guests into the kingdom of Arendelle, which features Elsa's Ice Palace, boat rides, and of course, warm hugs from Olaf. Disney is the parent company of ABC. Happy birthday to music icon Celine Dion. She turns 58 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
There is a new kind of rodeo in Franklin, Georgia. One built for ability, inclusion, and giving every rider a place in the arena. Caitlin Ross has more.
All right, putting the saddle on board, okay?
Saddling up isn't just routine for Marvin Dugan. It's the moment everything starts to feel possible.
The excitement, the adrenaline rush, my fans cheer me on.
When he climbs onto Hercules, he's focused, steady.
Kiss and kick, come on.
Completely at home.
I know it's time to go to work, and it's time to get serious and do what I gotta do.
Out in the arena, Marvin isn't thinking about limitations.
Turn. Good, Marvin, good.
He's thinking about the ride, the rhythm, and the people cheering him on.
Marvin. Love Marvin. Marvin has big passion, big faith, big dreams, and he has a big heart.
Good boy.
For a long time,
good, ain't it?
There wasn't a space for him to compete like this.
Past it, heels down.
No division that fit, no lane that felt like his.
Marvin didn't have anywhere to compete, and we wanted him to have an opportunity to show his skills.
The special needs division of Say Rodeo started with Marvin.
Yay! Good job!
And for his family, it finally gave Marvin what he had been searching for.
He just really wanted something that was his, where he could win awards, he could be recognized, and he just hadn't had that in his life.
Come on, push past, push past.
Marvin's life hasn't been an easy ride. Born with an intellectual disability,
slide, horn.
Marvin was in 13 different foster homes before he turned 8, before he was adopted by the Dugans.
He is really a special and unique man. He deserves to be celebrated. One of the most positive people I know.
Legs, flank.
Marvin is now using his gift to help others.
Now keep that inside hand up.
Visiting schools and encouraging kids with special needs.
Tight, 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 hands up, stand up.
To see what's possible for themselves.
There you go.
My heart for God, sharing my faith with people, from going to schools and teaching kids about what I do. Go, go, go.
All the way, all the way.
And when he rides, he's showing them something even more powerful than words.
That whatever they put their mind to, they can do it.
Hands forward, kiss and kick.
Out here, it's not about limits. It's where Marvin belongs.
Lope him home.
I have to love the inclusivity of that.
That was amazing.
Nice little message in there.
Yeah.
Let's get to our sidebar. A number of major film props have now been sold for a pretty penny. This C-3PO light-up head from Star Wars has fetched more than $1 million at auction. It was part of the film and TV memorabilia auction last week. The harpoon gun used by Robert Shaw in Jaws was also up for grabs and went for more than $400,000.
Wow.
Canadian, of course. And the famous volleyball used by Tom Hanks in the film Castaway has become one of the most expensive volleyballs, selling at more than $200,000.
Huh.
If you got the cash.
If you've got it, you might
and you're
as well.
into it, Why not?
Yeah.
I guess.
Good way to get rid of a whole lot of cash.
Yeah. Or you could give it to us.
We're willing to take it.
Take a dollar or two?
We are.
All right, Janelle, what do you got for us?
Okay, well, people in Washington were able to enjoy the cherry blossoms bloom and kites over the weekend. The annual Blossom Kite Festival was held at the National Mall. Every year, more than 1 million people visit Washington for the bloom. Beautiful.
Don't see a lot of kites anymore, at least down here in my area of town.
No.
Yeah. Let's all get a kite.
Should we go fly a kite?
Yes.
Is this Mary Poppins?
Yeah.
Let's go fly a kite.
In the snowstorm.
I can't do it like that. Oh, spiraling out of control. That's it for us. We'll see you back here first thing tomorrow morning.